If I was talking to somebody, I would call myself a cultural warrior. I think my work is kind of confrontational in a way, and it always has been. I think it's always been confrontational. But there's a fine line where there's humour and confrontation, and then there's a very dark side to some of my pieces. I do paint, and I do make other pieces that are wall-based, but I get very frustrated if I can't walk around an object. And I really love working with domestic objects, domesticity, because I feel that it's there. It's extremely interesting because everything expresses all kinds of different things like class and I mean so many things, you know. I think they have a huge potential for expression, furniture, and I use a lot of old pieces. I also use contemporary pieces, new pieces sometimes, but I like using things that already have a story. And I love stories, and it can take me a long time to find out what the story is, but it's always hovering in some collection I have of pieces of furniture. You know, I've been doing it for a really long time, and it's just like one piece feeds into another. And I think when I made the very, very first piece, which was in '89, that was a furniture-based piece, I got very, very excited because of the way that people relate to the pieces, because they're so familiar. And what I really like about it is that your body relates to it. So if your brain is not relating to it, your body relates to it, and then your brain starts to think, what's happened here? So I think that when you start to manipulate things that are the everyday like in this way, you have this two-sided thing. And I find it very interesting myself, and I really notice things myself that are right here, you know, everything that's right here. Rather than to go look for things, I feel sometimes they're coming to me. And I feel that with a chair, for example, it's already got a body, it's got arms, you know, it's there for you, and you know it. And so as soon as you start to change it, for example, if you use taxidermy, then then it's, you know, your mind boggles. You sort of think, what's happened? I think that when I make a piece of work and I put it out there, then it doesn't belong to me anymore. It belongs to the audience or the participants who come and see it. And it's whatever they take away is hopefully something that belongs to them from their experiences. I love the fact that you can go in and be a part of the artwork, and I think that's been one of the most exciting things for me, that you actually, you do become part of the artwork. You do sit in the bar, you can sit in this bar, you have to walk through the rooms and you become part of each room because you walk on the floor and you're there. So in a way you're not, I love the fact that you're not going to an art gallery and feel slightly estranged from it and its white walls. You are in it, you're part of it. And I love the way that you work through the weekdays and become part of every single day. And stories are told about the pieces, which is also a new thing for me because I've never written anything myself, and this is not the usual kind of writing that I've done. It's more from a creative point of view, a creative, poetic kind of view. So, and those things are the things that I've written about after I've made the pieces, actually, not at the time, but the way that I think about these things It's also conversations with people. It's feelings that you may not say, that or you may, you know. But for example, the hairdressing piece. I think they're things that people can relate to, and then you go through the whole week, and you come out, and it's Saturday night. This is Saturday night where we're sitting, and you go into the urban space. Personally, I think that it kind of reflects, the urban space reflects upon what's happening in the world. So hence the whirlwind is in the thorn bush, which is based on the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. There's 4 new sculptures that are placed upon a bridge with graffiti under it, and they represent death, war, conquest and famine. Those are 4 things that I think are very, very relevant right now. This is refugees basically hovering around, going somewhere. We don't know where they're going. We have soldiers as well, who are basically made of white paper. They're wrapped, it's military boots, and there's a roll of white paper, and outside the white paper they're wrapped in brown paper. And the brown paper that's actually wrapped round is a paper that's like a paper you use in the butchers, that when you put a piece of meat in the paper, it stops the blood from running, basically. The paper sort of reflects it can blow away in the wind. It's so vulnerable. Who's written the history? Who's decided that these soldiers should go out and do what, you know, I think it asks a lot of questions, this exhibition. You see so much TV and you hear so much and you read the papers, and it's really kind of like hard to cope with. And there's also like, you know, it's very easy to isolate yourself in your own comfort zone. And I think this work is trying to push the boundaries a little bit about how you think about it. I think art is political. I would say I'm political. I'm not good at expressing that with my words, but yes, my work is political. I also think that coming to this age that I am and having done the things that I do, I kind of feel, well, fuck it, you know, I'm going to do this. And so what, you know, this is what I really, really want to do.